Hey, this is Matt once again with about to another review, and this is a request from Omega Bear, a paid request for anyone that wants to request anything. PayPal is the best way to do it. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down in the info box. It will be a movie review, a re-review, thought streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, a full playthrough, tier list or ranking, like I said, random thoughts, whatever the case may be. I'll get to as soon as I possibly can. But for those who sent them, thank you. I really do appreciate it. Now this is for the Untouchables. Sorry, I choked up with that. Gotta get some water. A film that I do think is one of Brian De Palma's best films. Now Brian De Palma, I think, is a very talented filmmaker. Whether it be Terry, Blowout. My favorite is Scarface. I do like Body Double. After this, he did Casualties of War, which I think is one of his more underrated ones. And yeah, if it did a top 5 Brian De Palma, I would say Scarface and Casualties of War would be my top 2. This might be number 3. I like Mission to Mars. I like Snake Eyes. But this one, just a great cast. Kevin Costner as Eliot Ness. Andy García. Sean Connery, which he won the Oscar for this. Charles Martin Smith, who he was in Starman and some other movies, would go to be director. He directed 50-50 with Peter Weller and among other films. I think he did Air Bud as a director. You got Robert De Niro as Al Capone. You got Billy Drago, may he rest in peace. Had a great looking voice to be a villainous character. And I mean, I never saw much of the TV show with Robert Stack of The Untouchables. But this one, the way it looked, taking place in 1930s Chicago, I think they did really nice on the art direction, which I think that was nominated for an Oscar. It didn't win, though. I think The Last Emperor won, which actually I don't think I ever saw that film, because I just didn't give a shit to see it. Because I think it's got nominated for 4 Oscars, and it won for Sean Connery. I think The Store was nominated, which is a very good score by Ennio Morricone. Which, I mean, hell, John Carpenter's The Thing, The Fistful of Dollars for a Few Dollars More, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Done a lot of great scores. This is another solid one. I love the way the opening, da-da-dum, ba-bum, and then the harmonica, but it's like a creepy version of harmonica, like a Dire Straits. Not the band, but I mean just something dire about the harmonica, something ominous about the harmonica, the way it's played. And then also the music, like at the end of the film, where this makes you feel triumphant. Very good score. I would say, it's weird to say underrated because it was nominated for an Oscar, but when people talk about great scores, they don't really talk about this, but it is a really good score. And pretty much it's about Eliot Ness, who's a Treasury officer, eventually getting in a group. This beat cop, played by Sean Connery. This rookie, played by Andy Garcia. This guy who is sent down, he's an accountant, played by Charles Martin Smith. And the 4 of them try to take down Al Capone. Either taking down some of his liquor operations, including a bridge near the Canadian border. Eventually some people get killed, and the rest have to go take down Al Capone in some way, some shape, some form. Now, it takes place again 1930 in Chicago during the Prohibition. And they go on a random, it's not random, a tangent on the whole Prohibition thing. Right, I think ran from 1920 to 1933. What a waste of fucking time that was. I mean, that means for 13 years, there were people killing other people for alcohol. Because alcohol was illegal. And so, because it's illegal, but they know people want it, so they had speakeasies and they had hidden bars, and they would put alcohol here and there, and this fight for the right to do it, the power, the money to control it. People fighting with Tommy guns and grenades and all sorts of stuff, bombs, and just how much death and destruction that was caused because of fucking alcohol. Which, at the end of the day, they repealed it, and then lo and behold, people drink alcohol nowadays. I don't, but they're advertised late at night, and, well, when people watch cable TV. Budweiser commercial. It's fun, Imagine someone from 1925. Well, there'd be 100 things they'd be gobsmacked about, but the fact that alcohol is like just advertised on TV, and they'd be like, "What the fuck's a TV?" But after this, like, and just how completely pointless the whole prohibition thing was. And it makes you wonder, like, if they just didn't do that in the first place, how many more lives would have been saved? But I mean, that's why they don't. I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things that just boggles your mind when you think back that there's a time period where that happened. I don't know why. It's just something I just wanted to bring up. It has nothing really to do with the movie. Well, a little bit, but still. And I mean, it starts out with a bang as well. I forgot about this part where someone is talking and someone drops a briefcase and this little girl, Mister, you forgot your briefcase, Mister. So Brian De Palma's like, fuck you. I'm going to start off with a bang. I'm going to kill a little girl within 10 minutes of the movie. This little girl became a bunch of puppy chow. There's nothing. I'm going to blow up a little girl at the beginning of my movie to show I mean business. Well, I mean, that's the way to make a statement. I'll say that. Blow up Little House on the Prairie girls. And then we're introduced to Kevin Costner, who's just gotten this job to, again, part of the Treasury to take down Al Capone. You tell some people don't really take him seriously. He means well, but he's a little bit in over his head. He does a raid that doesn't go well because some crooked cops tipped off Al Capone's thugs. He's looked at as a fool. So, but he really is committed to this. So he goes to find Sean Connery is a beat cop who's passing by him. They have a conversation. And Sean Connery's great, as well as Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner I've always liked as an actor. Ever since back in the day, seeing him in Field of Dreams, which I was born in Iowa, so that was definitely a film I watched a time or two. But Field of Dreams, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves is still my favorite version of Robin Hood. Although I do like the Disney animated one, but Kevin Costner's my favorite version. I liked him in Bull Durham. I liked him in Tin Cup. I liked him in this film. JFK, I think, is a great movie. I got the older Blu-ray right here. Always enjoyed him as an actor. Even in, like, Dragonfly. A lot of people don't like that one because it was advertised like a horror film, but it's not a horror film at all. It's more of a maybe sappy, but supernatural drama, a little bit of love story. But I enjoyed it for what it was. I like Dragonfly. Same with, I like Mr. Brooks, where he played the killer. Nowadays, it's kind of hard to be, like 3 Days to a Kill. Like, he has this raspy voice like this, and I was just always talking like this. I'm like, huh? But I still liked him as an actor. Even Waterworld, I don't mind Waterworld. I like the film. So I thought he did a good job as the lead here. He brought a sense of, he had that lead presence. He had a bit of innocence, naivete, but then later on you see that change where he plays a bit rougher. He learns a few things here and there, and you could buy it. You could buy him doing bits of the action. It doesn't feel out of place or out of character. Sean Connery, a lot of great lines. He pulls out a knife, you pull out a gun. He sends some of you guys to the hospital, you send more of his to the morgue. That's the Chicago way. And yes, I get it. He's supposed to be an Irish American, but he's got this Scottish accent. I don't care. It's Sean Connery. He's magnetic. He's in for the fight. He has a score to settle. And just has this vibrant, angry energy. Even when they go get the rookie, Andy Garcia, he's calling these certain things, which I'm not going to repeat, but he calls him these certain names. And Andy Garcia pulls a gun on him. And Sean Connery's like, I like this guy. And certain actions that he does that goes a bit maybe across the line, but gets the job done. And he is very affirmative. He's very, you could tell that his attitude will rub off onto Kevin Costner, and he'll take a little bit of Sean Connery to use later on to have a bit of that gunno attitude that Sean Connery is showcasing from the first scene you see him in as his beat cop. Very lively performance. So I thought he did a good job. Did he deserve the Oscar? Sure. I mean, compared to other people, yes. I was fine with it. Didn't bother me. Andy Garcia, this is an early role for him. Of course, he would also be, Godfather Part 3, which I didn't like. I liked him in, was it Black Rain? And I do like Andy Garcia. Once in a while, I'm trying to remember what film he was in, where he played like a crime boss or something. There was a few he did that. Oh yeah, he played the mayor in Ghostbusters 2016. I think that was, I think so. I try to put that film out of my fucking mind. I think he was, which is a damn shame. I hope the paycheck was nice and it cleared. But goddamn, that movie sucks. But yeah, I always liked Andy Garcia. I thought he did a good job here as the rookie, who's a crack shot. Maybe we'll like to learn more about his character, at least a little bit more. Charles Morton Smith, he did fine as the accountant. He's even just have a little bit of action on the bridge, where he just be a bit gun-ho with the shotgun, and his moment to shine, shooting this guy, ran out of bullets or shells, so he smacks the guy. Yeah, nice to see his moment of the shine. And again, the premise, they get together, they start doing these raids. They raid this warehouse. I would like to have seen a bit more of these raids. Because then you see a raid at a warehouse, and you see this bit at this bridge. I probably want to see at least one or two more of these guys working together. One or two more action scenes of these guys working as a unit, taking down these places. I mean, just one or two more. Just a little bit more of them as the Untouchables, as his group. To spoiler alert, like, they do this warehouse, there's talk and stuff, then they have the bit with the bridge, which is a good scene. Nice job by the people with the squibs and shooting up the car, and I thought each of the characters kind of fit their mold. They have Kevin Costner, he hasn't done this a lot because he's a treasury guy. So I like the bit, watch it again, where he warns the guy, shoots in self-defense, is like, why do you listen to me? What, you can't understand what I'm saying, huh? And you tell it like affects him because He's not a cold-blooded killer or anything, and just, you know, doesn't make him look like a pansy, doesn't make him look like a wussy, just makes him look conflicted, and like he wanted to turn out in a different way, but still gives him a bit of humanity. Then on the flip side, you have Sean Connery, where they're trying to get this info from this guy, and Sean Connery gets the idea of, okay, you're not going to talk? We'll see if this guy talks, but he takes a dead body. Well, you can't talk with a gun in your mouth? It's like, no, he can't talk because he's dead. One, two, and it's a very bloody, like, you see it all, the bloody hit, like, the back of the head explodes. Because Brian De Palma doesn't hold back on the violence. And when you see that, you're going to get the shit scared out of you and talk as well. And that guy that plays the bookkeeper, I know I've seen him before. And I know some people get mad that, oh, well, yeah, let's wait till you do your look on the internet. Yes, because I want to make sure on something. I'm sorry. Like, someone literally did bitch at me going, yep, go ahead and wait. We'll wait. I'm like, yeah, you can wait perhaps for 10 seconds while I looked at something. I'm sorry. Now I want to look up something and see if I can find one of the characters. I want to look up the name. I apologize for this. Yeah, George, Brad Sullivan. I know I've seen him in stuff. It might have been, yeah, the Chief in Dead Bane. He was in The Abyss. Canadian Bacon. Bushwhacked. It might have been Bushwhacked where I remember him from. But anyway. I thought he was someone else, but I recognized him, but I thought he was someone. I just wanted to confirm. So I'm sorry about that, folks. Mea culpa, mea culpa. Like I said, the movie doesn't hold back on its violence. I wouldn't say it's a gory movie, but there's definitely some violent parts to the film. Actual squibs. And Brian De Palma, like, he knows how to shoot a film. He some nice camera angles. Like this bit where Robert De Niro's pissed that one of his warehouses get caught up in this. So he smacks a guy with a baseball bat. And then you have this camera up top pulling back to reveal the table and the blood seeping more and more outward. The train station sequence, to me, that is how you direct a scene. For suspense, for action. That is an exceptional piece of direction. Like, if you want one scene to show what Brian De Palma can do as a director, that scene alone showcases it. But yeah, I thought the cast did their jobs well. You know, the wife character was a Patricia Clarkson, who she's been in other stuff. As the wife, I mean, okay. Not really much for me to talk about with that. Robert De Niro as Al Capone, I thought he was fine, but just fine. I know this sounds weird, but you think Robert De Niro is Al Capone, like, he does fine, but I guess it's one of those performances that I always forget he did. I know this doesn't make sense, but I don't know what it is. Just something about it. I don't know if it's, I don't know if I say lack of screen time or like memorable lines or something. Like, he does fine. I'll keep repeating that. He does fine. But the performance I remember more is Costner, Sean Connery, and other people. Not so much Robert De Niro. Although he was definitely a big part of the marketing of this. But I wonder if he had I don't know. I don't know how to put it. as we were just watching it again, it's me not mind performance, but something about it just was lacking. And I can't put my finger on it. Maybe that's just me. It's not bad at all. It's just something about it is not. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. But yeah, then you have the people getting killed off. You have, some moments that make you feel bad if you because you grow to, even though the accountant and others don't have a lot of time to get filled with depth, like know their backgrounds, their stories and stuff. They're still with their interactions, personality. They're still likable enough. So Charles Martin Smith, as well as their witness, this bookkeeper, they detailed an elevator. Then later on, Sean Connery gets set up and shot to shit. I mean, shot to shit. It becomes Swiss cheese. And Kevin Costner finds him and shows how tough Sean Connery is. He got killed. He got shot like 85 times, and he's still alive long enough for them to get there and tell him this where they need to go, which is this train station. Now, granted, again, you see how much he got fucking shot. Yeah, how long did it take for Kevin Costner to get there? In like 10, 15 minutes? I'm like, you just shot that much. You're not living 10, 15 seconds. But it's a movie. It is what it is. He got shot more times than 50 Cent has in his life. But Sean Connery is James Bond, goddammit, he can do it. If anybody can, he can do it. And again, that train station scene, just the way it's set up, with the stairs and the baby carriage, and the way the camera pans into this bad guy, and the way Kevin Costner acts, and he knows he's going to be noticed, and the slow motion reveal of the shotgun, actual blood squibs, turn around shooting this other guy, Andy García shooting this guy in the back, going for the baby, seeing the baby, the slow motion, the different camera angles, the bad guy shooting, missing here, missing there, some people sadly getting in the way, García going up, Costner's gun is empty, throwing up, García sliding down to catch the carriage and aiming here, while Costner shoots this guy over here. Matter of teamwork and timing and using the location to his best effect. Even, the one guy takes this guy hostage, and Kevin Costner's like, "You got him?" Garcia's like, "Yeah, I got him. I swear I'm gonna shoot one." Take him. And again, we were set up that he's a crotch shot, so the idea and the reveal is that he shot this guy through the mouth. You see the blood come out, you see the blood in the back. 2. Again, just the way that all is set up, the use of slow-mo, and that is how you do it. That is how you fucking set up an action scene. My favorite scene in the movie is that exceptionally well-directed sequence. And because of, they did a good job with the costumes and making it look like 1930s Chicago, the music fits the film very well, you have a good collection of actors, the pacing doesn't really drag much, the violence, doesn't hold your hand, it's not tame or sanitized. Scenes like that, what was it? A good movie. You need one or two great scenes and a couple of good scenes. Well, this definitely does it, because that is a hell of a scene. Then the whole bit with there's a trial and they realize that something screwy is going on, and Billy Drago's there with a gun, and we gotta escort him out. Hey, you got some matches? He's going to smoke, then he realizes that the address of Sean Connery's on here. Had a friend who lived there. And just again, the camera pushing and the reveal of Kevin Costner realizing what's going on. the chase. And I love this bit here where they did Billy Drago. He does Billy Drago, and then he talks trash about Sean Connery. Watch me beat the rap, and just the way the music rises up, almost like, oh shit, you fucked up badly. Fuck around, find out. That's what the music. If fuck around, find out, that music should play each time. The oh shit, and Costner just throws his sorry ass off the roof, falls right into a car. Where is he? He's in the car. Then he's able to switch the juries, get Al Capone on tax evasion, and there you go. Never stop fighting until the fight is done. Here endeth the lesson. They might repent Prohibition. What you gonna do? Think I'll have a drink. Again, great triumphant score. Andy Garcia was wonderful support for Kevin Costner. Like I said, Robert De Niro's just kind of there. Like, he's fine, but I don't know. I'm repeating what I said before, but it's just something about it just. When you think of the great Robert De Niro performances, does anyone ever come up with Al Capone? The great movies is one thing, but his top 5 performances. Do people really think of Robert De Niro? They think of Taxi Driver or Raging Bull or hell, I would say even Copland or such. Even Meet the Parents. I thought his performance Meet the Parents were more memorable than this. Maybe that's the thing. It's fine, but it wasn't memorable to me. Listen, I do wish we could have had one or two more of the Untouchables rating something, a little bit more action on that front. More of them working as a team together. That's the thing. I just wanted to see them more as a team. Maybe a little bit more of the background of Garcia and Charles Martin Smith. But, I mean, these like little nitpicks here and there. And yes, again, I know Sean Connery is supposed to be an Irish American and he's got it. I know. I could deal with it. But the wonderful direction, solid score, great cast, some excellent set pieces like the train scene. When the action's there, nice squibs, decent bits of violence. Very solid film, The Untouchables. Like I said, easily in my top 3 Brian De Palma films. Again, I would say Scarface, Casualties of War, then this film. It was nice to rewatch this again, and because I hadn't seen it in a while. I know Sean Connery liked working with Kevin Costner because he wanted him for. Well, I think the Presidio he did because he thought Kevin Costner was going to star in it, but then it was Mark Harmon. And I could be wrong, but I think he wanted Kevin Costner for The Hunt for Red October. I could be wrong, but I thought I remember. And honestly, I wish that was the case. I think Kevin Costner would have been a lot better in The Hunt for Red October than Alec Baldwin. I would have much preferred Kevin Costner in that. Especially how much of a dick Alec Baldwin is. But yeah, Kevin Costner I think would have done a lot better in that. But I don't mind Hunt for Red October, but anyway, I like this film more. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.